Hi everyone, I am Infant Sasya from the Department of Mathematics, register number 56. Today we are going to see area of a composite figure. Before begin with area of a composite figure, let's see what is a composite figure. What a composite figure? A composite figure is made up of two or more simple shapes that when combined form a new shape. It is also known as combined figure. If a figure is made up of more than one shape, we call that figure as a composite figure. It is also known as combined figure. Why do we call this figure as a composite figure? The name composite comes from the Latin word componia, which translates as put together. Since the figure is made up of more than one shape, it is known as a composite figure. Let's see some of the examples of composite figure. The first example I have given is a house. You can see this house is made up of a triangle, square and a rectangle. Since this house is made up of more than one shape, this is an example of a composite figure. The next example is an ice cream cone. This ice cream cone is made up of more than one shape, a triangle and a semicircle. Since this is made up of more than one shape, this is also an example of a composite figure. So now we have come to find the area of a composite figure. We know what is a composite figure and we are going to find area of a composite figure. To find the area of the composite figure, we have certain rules to be followed which will make the problem easier. Step 1 is look into the figure carefully and you need to separate the figure into known individual shapes. The next step is after finding the individual shapes, you need to find the area for that individual shape separately. Then you need to add all the individual area of the individual shapes together to find the area of the composite figure. This will be little confusing for you. If you see the problem, you can understand it easier. So now we are going to solve problem on area of a composite figure. So this is a given figure. What we have to do, the first step as I have told you, you need to look into the figure and separate that figure into known individual shapes. So if you look into this figure, what are the shapes you find here? So here we can draw a square and therefore this becomes a square and this becomes a rectangle. So this composite figure is made up of a square and a rectangle that I have marked here. This is a square and this is a rectangle. This shape is made up of square and a rectangle. So the next step, as I have told you, you need to find the area of that individual shape separately. So first I am going to find area of the square separately. So what is this is a square of side 2 units. So the length is given to be 2 units and the breadth is given to be 2 units. So we know that the area of a square formula. What is the area of a square? Yes, area of a square is equal to side into side square, square units. So what is the side in this problem? The side is given to be 2 units. That is the length and breadth is given to be 2 units. Therefore, the area of this square is equal to 2 into 2, which is 4 square units. Therefore, the area of the square is found to be 4 square units. So the next shape is a rectangle. So what is given? The length of the rectangle is given as 5 units. The breadth of the rectangle is given as 3 units. Therefore, the length is 5 units and the breadth is 3 units. We know that the area of a rectangle formula. Area of a rectangle is equal to length into breadth square units. So area is equal to what is the length given here? 5 units. And what is the breadth given here? 3 units. Therefore, 5 into 3, which is 5 3s are 15. 15 square units. Therefore, the area of the rectangle is 15 square units. So, after finding area of the individual shapes, what we have to do is we have to find the area of the composite figure. As I have told you earlier, the last step of finding the area of a composite figure is to add the individual area of the individual shapes together. That is, area of a composite figure is equal to sum of the area of the individual shapes. Here, what is the area of a composite figure? It is the area of a square plus area of a rectangle. That are the shapes we have separated. So what is the area of a square? The area of a square is found to be 4 and the area of a rectangle is found to be 15. Therefore 4 plus 15, which gives 19. Therefore, 19 square units. Area of this combined figure is equal to 19 square units. This is how we will find the area of the combined figures. That is, separate the given figure into known figures, find the area of the individual figures, and add the individual parts together to get the area of that combined figure. Let me check you how well you have understood the concept of finding area of a composite figure. So, the first question is, what is a composite figure? A figure made of only one shape, a figure made by combining two or more simple shapes, a figure with equal sides only, a figure with no area. Yes, the answer is B. A figure made by combining two or more simple shapes. The next question is, which of the following is the first step in finding the area of a composite figure? Is it to add all sides together, to count the number of shapes, to divide the figure into familiar shapes? Use the perimeter formula. Yes, the right answer is option C. Divide the figure into familiar shapes. Which of these shapes are most commonly used in composite figures? Hexagon and octagon, square, rectangle, triangle, circle, rhombus and trapezium, pentagon and cube. Yes, the answer is B. Square, rectangle, triangle, circle. So these are the shapes which is most commonly used in composite figures. So next question. What is the purpose of learning to find the area of a composite figure? Is it to decorate the classroom, to understand patterns, to solve real life problems involving space and design, to draw better shapes? Yes, the answer is C. To solve real life problems involving space and design. So these are the questions. The questions are over. And for homework, copy this figure in your notebook. Tomorrow I will check your homework problems. So find the area of this combined figure. I will give you a clue on how to solve this problem. How will you solve usually? Like that only you have to solve this problem also. So what are the individual shapes you find here? Is rectangle and triangle. So you have to find the area of a rectangle separately using area of a rectangle formula. Then you have to find area of a triangle separately using area of a triangle formula. Then you have to add both the areas together to find the area of this composite figure. These are the reference material which I have used to present this presentation. Thank you.